So we're going to get into the NFL, baby.
NFL, all right. So this is kind of what we did last year. I'm thinking we stay along where we're just going to go through the AFC, go through the NFC, and then say who's going to win that division, who's going to win the conference, who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Do you want to start with our babies, or do you want to start?
I think we should start AFC, and I think we should start AFC East.
I was about to say, our babies are going into very different directions at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, there was hype for Chicago. This year, there's hype
there's
for Chicago.
Fucking people saying they could go to the Super Bowl kind of hype, and I'm like, pump your brakes. This is Chicago.
Yeah, so there's only one place to start. Everybody starts with the Bills because they're alphabetically the first team if you start in the AFC East.
So, AFC East, and what I did is I typed up all the teams, and I went through each week, and I decided who would win, who would lose in each game, and that gave me the final tallies.
Wow.
Well, I really wanted to make this. So, AFC East. You should start with this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a troubling one for me.
Yeah.
Because everybody who watches this show knows I love the Bills. I fucking love the Bills. I can't get enough of the Bills. I've been a Bills fan forever. I talked about it earlier on the show. This offseason has been rough.
Oh, it's been very rough.
It's been rough. And there's just been cuts and releases all over the place, especially on defense. Yeah. And I believe I've talked about this on the show before because I've lost my mind around the NFL draft because they started trading down and trading with the Chiefs and doing all these terrible things. I don't know how we're going to be more than an 8-win team. I just don't see it.
I have them 9-8, so I'm there with you.
Because I think we're going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
Because the options are all of the rookies and limited replacements that we've brought in to fill all these gaps on defense are amazing.
Yep.
And the defense doesn't lose a step. Or the more realistic thing, the defense takes a giant step back because we have all these holes in it now. We don't have any safeties.
Yeah.
We have Taylor Rapp, which is fine. We had to move Taron Johnson to corner because we didn't have enough corners. Like, we have nobody in the back end.
Well, and I'm shocked that more teams haven't looked at the Bills as a warning sign with these quarterback contracts. Because the reason why they had to get rid of so many people is this is the year that Josh Allen's his contract kicks in.
Yeah.
With it's like $54 million or something a year.
Oh, but we could renegotiate with Von Miller.
Yeah.
Makes me
How is he still on the
crazy.
fucking team?
How did we get rid of Trey White, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, but we kept Von Miller?
Yeah. Unless his contract is so fucked up.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What did he do for us last year? I know he was coming off injury. He was coming off injury all year. All year, everybody was talking about, how much is Vaughn going to play? Oh, how much is Vaughn going to play? Apparently very little. Extremely little. And then off the field problems on top of it. With a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
So no. Get him out of here. Send him to Arizona. I don't fucking care. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
I'm done with him. So I would have rather kept any of the guys that have been battling injuries for years. I would have kept Dane Jackson, Saran Neal over fucking Von Miller. You know, I'm just...
Yeah, no,
The Bills were always struggling without their defense.
Yep.
Their offense never won them games. Their defense always won them games. Anytime they were in a game, it was because the defense was overperforming. Now we have no defense.
Yep. And you have no weapons on offense.
And we have very few weapons on offense because the guys that we brought in to replace Steph Diggs, who was being an awful piece of shit last year, are either injured or so new that nobody knows if they're going to be any good.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting here like, buckle in, Bills fans, because this is a 9-8 year, and it's going to be the Dolphins and the Jets that overtake you.
And that's the thing is, I want to preface all of these things I'm going to say on this list. 1,000% do not count in injury. Because I agree with you. But we saw what happened last year when Tyreek Hill got hurt. We saw what happened when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So it's like, I agree with you. I have the Jets at 16-1.
Wow, really?
Winning that because their team is so good, defensively and offensively. But they need Aaron Rodgers to stay healthy, and they need the running back to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That is the big thing.
Yeah.
I have the Dolphins 13-4 in the playoffs. I have the Patriots 0-17. I think they're going to not win a game.
I think that would be amazing.
I don't think they're going to win a game.
I think it would be so fucking great.
I looked at their schedule and teams they're playing. Their home games are tough.
Yeah.
And their away games aren't as tough. Like, the teams aren't as good, but they're still better than the Patriots.
Yeah. We're playing, as a division, we're playing the West and the South.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
That's very tough.
That's very tough. We're lucky we don't have the AFC North and the NFC West, which might be the two toughest division in the league right now.
See, I'm curious with the West.
Yeah.
The AFC West. The East, right now, on paper, could have, I think, still just those two playoff teams, the Jets and the Dolphins. I don't think the Bills are going to make playoffs. The thing I'm most afraid of is they're going to put too much effort or emphasis on Josh Allen. He's going to get hurt.
I'm worried that, see, if Josh gets hurt, as long as it's not like, it can be a season-ending injury, but not a career-ending injury or a career-altering injury. I'm okay with tanking this year.
Yeah, because you'll be leaning on Mitch Trubisky, so you will be tanking.
Exactly. So I'm okay with it because we need defensive help. And say what you will about the Bills brass, they draft pretty well.
Yes.
Tyrell Bernard just got promoted to captain when Matt Milano went out because of course Matt Milano's out.
Of course he did.
And I feel so bad for that guy.
I do feel bad for him too. He's like that guy on Dallas, the linebacker.
Oh, Van Der Esch.
Van Der Esch. It's like, dude, he's always fucking hurt.
And he's so good, but when he's injured, he's just injured.
Yeah.
And he's injured all the time.
Yep.
And so, like, we still have some great guys on defense. We got AJ Epinesa. We got Terrell Bernard. Daquan Jones is a tackle. We got weapons, right? We're not without weapons, but we lost Floyd. Leonard Floyd was an enormous part of our defensive success last year. So, and we have no secondary. So, if anybody overtakes us, I hope it's the Jets because they're the only more suffering team than we have been.
Yes.
And I will never hope for good things for the Dolphins.
I never will either because they're the only team that beat the 85 Bears.
Yeah, so like I can tolerate the Jets being good, even though I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I can't tolerate the Dolphins being good, but I think they're going to be very good. I think that they're going to win the division. I think the Jets could get...
See, the only reason I don't have them doing that, they have some very tough cold weather road games in December. That's where I think, because once again, they proved they just can't play in cold weather.
No, they will never be able to get over that. Cleveland and New York, that's rough.
Yeah.
And right at the end of the year, and Green Bay.
And Green Bay. So I saw those, I was like, I don't think they're winning any of those games.
Yeah.
Because they're against good teams in the cold.
Yeah, I still think the Dolphins have a better chance just because I think they're a more cohesive team. The Jets' defense is better than the Dolphins' defense, but the Dolphins' offense is so fully different than anything the Jets could hope for. Like the Jets are really hoping that like 6 or 7 lines don't fall down over the course of the season. And if any one of those lines falls down, they're in deep trouble.
They're in deep trouble.
I don't think the same is true of the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins could have a few things go wrong and still be able to scratch out a good season.
See, I'm just worried after seeing the Tyreek Hill thing last year.
Yeah.
Like what happened to that team once he got hurt. And it's like, that could happen again. And once again, I'm not basing anything on injury. I still have them a 13-4 playoff team.
Yeah. See, I would put them at 13-4. I think I would put the Jets at, I would say like 10-7. I just don't think the Jets are going to get more than 10 wins just because they're the Jets. You know, it's like how I could expect the Mets to continue to keep on this rise that they've been on through the postseason, but I don't because it's the Mets. And not enough people are doing cocaine on their team to be that successful.
Damn it, Strawberry, come back. So so you have the Dolphins winning that division.
I have the Dolphins winning that division.
So let's go to the NFC North.
Okay.
To me, this is the best division in the NFC. Except for the Steelers.
Yeah. Wait, the NFC or the AFC North?
AFC North.
AFC
North. So I have the Ravens finishing 14-3 and winning the division. But then I have the Bengals and the Browns both at 13-4 because their schedules line up pretty well. And I have the Steelers at 2-15.
See, I think the Steelers are going to be better than that. I don't know that they're going to get more than their standard 9 wins that they're used to getting.
See, what I'm worried, and I see what would happen with them, is they're going to have that back and forth with the two quarterbacks all year.
I wonder seriously if that's what's going to happen.
Things up.
Apparently a lot of people have been like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I don't get this. The idea of trading I get it. You paid nothing for Justin Fields and you're paying nothing for Russell Wilson. If one fails, you have the other one. I don't get this.
Yeah.
I don't get this. These are two guys that are going to want to run everything, that are very controversial in their own right, not because of like their attitude or anything, although some people would say that about Justin Fields. I don't think so, but that's just because I don't believe in Bears coaching. I don't know, man. I think the Steelers could be good, but I don't think they're going to be more than a 9-win team at most. I think it's more of an 8-loss team than a 9-win team.
I see what you're saying.
But the Bengals and Browns that's tricky.
See, the Bengals, once again, all rides on Burrow staying healthy.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened more than, one season? He played 16 games. And it's like,
Yeah, no, it's a big if.
Because they did have Chase reported to camp today, so he is practicing leading up to the game, the first game, which he's either going to be playing pissed off and not do good, or be playing so good so he says trade me at the end of the season since they haven't paid him.
Yeah, well, they have a bunch of people that need to get paid.
Yeah, but he's the big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always have questions about Bengals defense.
Yes.
Because I don't know any of them. I can't point to any one of them and be like, oh yeah, he's going to wreck the game. He's going to change things. But that doesn't mean that they can't.
Yeah.
I just don't know them, so I don't have faith in them. But what I have less faith in is Deshaun Watson. I
have no faith in him. Their defense
look at the Browns.
Is just so good.
Their defense is great.
It's great defense.
But I just look at the Browns and I just really wonder. Because, yes, they made it to the playoffs with Joe Flacco because that defense was so good. But I just wonder. And now, if Deshaun goes down, do you have somebody that can keep the boat afloat?
And I got to say, he's one of the top players I root against.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I want to see him do
hard
so
and heavy.
bad.
Hard and heavy, baby. Just the way he likes it.
Massage.
I would still give this division to the Ravens. I might call them a 15-2 team, honestly. I think that if they get on a roll, they can roll.
They can, but once again, what's going to happen in the postseason with them?
Exactly.
That's the question.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
It's not a question of how well will they perform in the regular season. It's a question of will that mean anything by the second week of January.
Yeah, that means shit. All right, so now the AFC South. This is a bad division to me.
This is I would agree with you on that.
Except for the Texans. I have them 15-2
Texans are going to be good,
winning the division.
I could see. I don't know that I'm going to put them at 15-2 just because I don't trust Steph Diggs not to be a fucking cancer on that team, especially with young talent around him.
Yeah, but he's being the third wide receiver.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that'll knock him down a bit.
Captain Hands of Stone over here.
Exactly.
No, I think that the Texans are going to be great. I would put them at probably like 13-4.
Okay.
And they're definitely going to win that division.
Oh, absolutely.
No doubt. Because absolutely. I don't have faith in the Jaguars.
No, I have them a 7-10 team.
I just don't know where they're going to get it.
No.
Because they just don't show it to me.
And they gave all that money to Trevor Lawrence. He hasn't done dick.
He hasn't done anything.
He looks like shit, actually.
He hasn't resolved any of his fumbling issues. He hasn't had hasn't figured out any of the problems that he has with reading defenses.
Yep.
He doesn't exactly pick things apart like Tom Brady. So I don't know. I just don't have faith in them. I also don't know, as much as I love Peterson, I just don't know that this is a group of guys that are going to be great.
Yeah.
They picked up a lot of bills. Cast-offs went to fucking Jaguars, so good luck. But at the same time,
the Texans got potentially the two good ones being Diggs and Kincaid, which I forgot that he fucking went to the Texans.
Wait, Kincaid?
Is it Kincaid or Knox? One of the...
I
thought it was Kincaid.
I'm going to look that up, because if we lost either of them, I'd be very upset.
No, you did, because I drafted him in a fantasy football league. I want to say it was Kincaid.
It can't be Kincaid. We just got him.
It must be Knox then.
Current team Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
He's
no.
still listed as a Bills.
Dalton Schultz. I have the wrong person.
Oh, yeah, no. Dalton Schultz isn't one of ours.
I got the wrong person.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
My bad.
You scared me.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was like, we can't get rid of both of them.
I'm really tired right now.
All right. Anyway, The good news is that if you're a Bills fan, the Titans are probably going to be pretty trash this year.
I have them 2-15.
Some people think that they're going to be a quiet sleeper team because they got some defensive weapons, but
their whole identity was two people.
Yeah.
And both of them are gone.
Both of them are gone.
It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry was that team forever, and so was Vrabel.
Without
the two of them?
You're going to replace Derrick Henry's production with Tony Pollard?
Nope.
I love Tony Pollard. He is not King Henry.
Fuck no.
Not even kind
of.
The
only reason Henry got the yards he got was because their offensive line and their quarterback was so bad he needed to fucking be Superman.
And I don't know who the fuck their coach is at this point anymore. And I don't see them being somebody that's going to make a huge difference. So I definitely don't see the Titans being great, which makes me happy.
Yeah. And I put the Colts 6-11, kind of same as the Jags, where I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be great.
My thing with the Colts is just that I don't trust their quarterback
to be healthy.
Anthony Richardson. I don't think that you're going to get all 16 games out of him.
Because it was really 17 games.
17 games.
Because it was only 3 games that he looked great, and
then he got injured in the fourth game.
How do you know he's going to? It's just too many questions.
I've seen this before so many times.
Yep.
So I don't think the Titans are going to be very good. I don't think the Colts are going to be bad, but I don't think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be like a 7 or 8 win team at most. So that brings us to the West.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the layup, or do you want to talk about the other 3 teams?
This is kind of my haterade.
Yeah.
But I was being objective when I was looking at the games. And I know this is the only team that I took potential injury into account. I still think if Mahomes doesn't have Travis Henry as his security blanket, like we saw in the first game last year, it is a much different team.
So if he goes down.
So I still have them 10-7, the Chiefs, but I have them not making the playoffs. I have the Chargers at 13-4. The reason the Chargers, I looked at their schedule. They have a very favorable schedule. Some of their tougher games are at home. And I have a lot of faith in Harbaugh.
My thing is that LA doesn't really have home games.
Well, yeah.
They have quote unquote home games.
I think that could potentially change with the Harbaugh effect.
Yeah.
Because now they have a superstar coach that people are going to want to come to the games and be Charger fans.
Yeah. We'll see. The other thing is that they don't have a lot of assets around them. Because they lost Eckler, they lost Allen, they lost Mike Williams. And I'm looking at their roster right now. They pretty much have a bunch of nobodies at wide receiver. And the cast-offs from the Ravens the last few years who have gotten injured, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, that's their whole thing.
I'm basing a lot of it on I have such memories of when Harbaugh was with the Niners.
Yeah.
And it was the same kind of thing. Like he took Kaepernick that no one thought would do shit and made him into
It's true.
A almost Super Bowl winning quarterback if the lights didn't go out.
For all we know, Lad McConkey is going to be the big name of the year.
You don't know. Like, that's the thing. I just have faith in Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And I do think there will be that. You know, to say the Chiefs are 10-7, it's still a good record in the NFL. It's not great, especially for a 2-time Super Bowl champion. But it is going to be, because if you remember when the Patriots, they still made it to the conference championship game, I believe. But they had their seasons where they just didn't look the same, but then they picked it up at the end.
Oh, that was always I had to watch them do that so many years. Everybody was like, oh, this is the end of the Patriots. This is the end of the Patriots.
And then
they run.
They crank it on. I just don't think because I think the Broncos are going to be better. I have them 9-8. I don't think they're going to be great.
You're crazy.
No. I don't think they're going to be great. I think they're going to be better because I think the big problem last year, if you look at their record with all of the distractions and all the shit going on, it wasn't far off from 9-8. I think they were a 7-win team last year, right?
I think so. I think that maybe 5 to 7.
Getting the Russell Wilson out of there, getting all of the distraction out of there. There's not going to be this weekly discussion of the Broncos like it was last year. Anyone could talk about was the Broncos. What's going on with Russell Wilson? And what's going on with Sean Payton? Blah 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 blah.
I don't know.
That's all gone.
I don't know. I think that could easily come right back in the door.
I don't. And I have faith because they have a solid rookie quarterback now.
See, I don't know anything about Bo Nix, but he, to me, reeks of fucking Drew Lock, Brock Osweiler.
See, I was thinking more J.J. McCarthy before he got hurt, reeked of those guys. I don't know. But once again, I 9-8 isn't a playoff team.
Yeah.
It's a few games better than last year. I think the Raiders are going to be 2-15, so that's going to be the worst.
See,
team
I want
to
see the Raiders do well.
I want to see them do well. I just don't think that they will because their quarterback situation is even worse.
Their quarterbacks. See, here's the thing. I would agree with you. But Gardner Minshew sometimes goes fucking off.
He does until expectations get on him.
Well, and in the right system, I think he could be really good. And I don't know. I think that this could be good. I'm not saying the Raiders are going to make the playoffs, but I like their chances better than the Broncos.
See, I think neither one of them are going to sniff the playoffs.
I think the Broncos are going to be a 4-win team.
Okay.
I think the Raiders are going to be an 8 to 10-win team.
Okay, so we're pretty much just swapping those guys. But I have the Chargers winning that division.
I think the Chargers could, but I've watched them Charger for so long that I have a hard time actually believing in them, that they're going to get it done. Instead, I end up looking at them and being like, and how are you going to blow this one?
Yeah.
So the Chargers, if they can get everything to line up and if Harbaugh really does put the spark of God in them like he did with the Niners, they could get to like 9-10 wins. With the Chiefs there, the Chiefs seem like they got stronger, not weaker. And I know, I just
can't bring myself.
I just got to be a realist. I after watching Brady all these years, I just have to be a realist at some point. And I just think the Chiefs are going to take a step up, and they already were pretty good to begin with. You may have heard of them.
See, I think the big difference between the Mahomes and Brady comparison is Brady it was going against Manning. Mm-hmm. There were good defenses because he was going against the Ravens defense. Bills defense was still good. No team had another quarterback to give them fits.
There was a period there where we thought Phillip Rivers was going to be it.
I always saw him as just a big mouth who was
had
good but not great.
They had that season in the mid-2000s, I think 2005, where they were just
that was more
outstanding.
To me, that was more LT.
But that was still success.
Yes.
And they still played the Patriots and lost. I still remember watching them lose because of fucking Nate Kading. Mm-hmm. Jesus fucking Christ.
But those years, I would watch I would look at the season and be like, I can see the Patriots winning every game.
Yeah.
They had that aura. To me, looking at this AFC now, I can't say the Chiefs. I would not bet money on them to beat the Jets, or the Dolphins, the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Chargers at away games. Home games, they would have difficulty with teams like the Ravens and the Browns, just defensively wise. But I think, that's the thing, is they don't have that aura.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And the Mahomes thing, and once again, it's not that I don't like him. I just hate the fact that people are calling him the greatest ever. It's like, dude, pump your fucking brakes.
Yeah.
Okay. He's had ridiculous success because he fell into, without a doubt, the best situation a fucking quarterback can fall into.
Yeah.
I would even put that ahead of what Caleb Williams fell into because Caleb Williams is starting as a rookie. Mahomes got to sit behind a guy who led his team to the conference championship that year with the best offensive, quite possibly the best offensive head coach ever, with 2 Hall of Fame players in their early prime.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you better be
pump the fucking brakes, okay? It's it's a little different.
Yeah.
And the defenses, it's like, this is not the same as when, even go back to Montana, Marino, and all of them, you could still literally take their heads off. Even Brady, there's that great Bills clip where the Bills player literally knocked his helmet. He just jumps up and is like, all right, let's fucking go. And it's like, dude, Mahomes would cry like a baby and pull out his Kermit voice and yell at the ref.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the big difference to me. It's like, the league is different. I can't.
The league is different, but it also rewards this for success.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so like I think that they're going to find more success. I also think they have the Taylor Swift bump. The NFL wants to see them be successful.
I am going to ride the Simone Biles bump the Chicago Bears are going to have because her husband plays defense for the Bears now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, she's a fucking gold medalist, okay? I know Taylor's a great singer.
Actual athlete.
She's an actual athlete.
Yeah.
And a gold medalist.
No, I do see the Chiefs winning this, but I hope that the Raiders can give them a run for their money because I like Antonio Pierce, and I kind of like the attitude that the Raiders are bringing into this season.
I do like Antonio Pierce. No, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
So for me, the playoff teams are the Jets, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, the Texans, and the Chargers. And I have the Jets winning and going to the Super Bowl.
I would put the Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, and Texans are all your division winners. I would say after that, I like Bengals and Browns. I think that's probably true. I just don't believe in the Jets. I just don't. I could be totally wrong, but I just don't believe in them. So I'm going to say the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars over the Raiders or Chargers would probably have an easier time just because of division stuff. So I would say that. That would be mine.
Okay. And who's going to the Super Bowl?
Of that group, it's either Ravens or Chiefs, and I don't have reason to believe in the Ravens, and I do have reason to believe in the Chiefs. So I think the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl again.
Okay. So we got to move on to the NFC.
Yes.
So let's start with the NFC East.
Oh boy, where do you want to start? With the good or the very bad?
So I have the Eagles winning the division 12-5.
Yep, I agree with that.
Dallas 10-7 making the playoffs.
They could, but I think once they start running out of players, and they're going to run out of players, once the injuries start hitting, that's another thing, is that the Jets have to play 8 games at MetLife.
Well, that's true, too. But see, the Cowboys, they're such a good home team that I see all of their home games as being wins. And then they have some road games like against the Giants and the Commanders. It's like, man, the Giants are going to be so.
The Giants are going to be trash.
They're 2-15
easily.
I have them
easily.
And the Commanders 7-10. I make them.
Yeah, no,
not great. New owners, new coach, new quarterback, new everything.
I think 6-11. I would say for Washington. I agree with you. 2-15. I think Daboll might be fired at the end of the season, but that's not his fault.
No,
it's because they stuck with Daniel Jones because they couldn't get any of the guys that they wanted. And I'm just looking at it like you had Justin Fields and Russell Wilson out on the market.
Yep.
And you didn't take either of them, and then you couldn't trade into the top 3 to get any of the quarterbacks you wanted.
Yep.
So you're just sticking with Danny Dimes? Are you serious?
Who looks so bad in the preseason?
He looks terrible.
He's just not good.
Name one game where he has looked good the entire game since that second game he played ever.
Yeah.
Like, he just hasn't looked good his entire career. He always looks outmatched. He always looks like he's in a panic. He always looks like he's about to fall over.
Yep. And you're going to replace him if he goes down with Tommy DeVito?
Really? You're going to ride that again?
Nope.
Hope that gets the hot hand?
Not going to happen, man.
Just
Giants
have more cuts to the stands to see the DeVito family.
Oh, my God. And his fucking agent that looks like Sopranos cast off.
But, it's definitely the Eagles. To me, the Eagles are definitely going to win this division. They got Saquon. If
Saquon is the big...
Because, now he doesn't have to be the bell cow.
Yep.
He can just be one of the many cogs in the team.
Yep.
And I think that they can really do some damage with that.
Agree.
Saquon, Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
That's a solid offense.
Wow.
And, everyone's saying about Kelsey retaring, which does suck, but I just have faith that they're going to be able to put somebody in there to just continue.
They're good at scouting talent.
Yep.
They have a very good eye for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Dallas is the one to me that I just don't know what to make of them. Because on the one hand, Dallas can get hot at any time. On the other hand, they're going to have to keep dealing with all-in season garbage and Jerry Jones saying dumb shit and what's Dak's contract going to be at the end of the year. They got CeeDee Lamb on contract, so that worked out. But, I don't know. I think Dallas and Buffalo could be in the exact same boat this year. Of everything's fine, fine. Ignore all the holes. Everything's fine. We're gonna figure it out.
Of every team in the NFL, because of the owner, I would love to see the Cowboys go 0-17.
Yeah.
Just because Jerry Jones is such a fucking idiot. He's got to stop.
Did you hear that Mark Davis might sell the Raiders?
No.
That's crazy to me. There's undercurrents running through the NFL that Mark Davis might sell the Raiders.
That's fucking weird.
That's nuts.
So I'm wondering if Brady, because he was trying to get part ownership under the Davis group.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
So we'll see.
That's fucking weird.
We'll see. Right. The South, interesting group.
NFC South. I gotta go with Baker, 10-7 Bucks. Same record as the Falcons, 10-7.
I'm just gonna go chalk from last year because I think the entire division is gonna be a trash pile again.
Oh yeah, the Saints and Panthers are easily two of the worst teams in the NFL.
The Panthers are going to be awful again.
Terrible.
Awful again.
Terrible.
They might be awful until David Tepper sells the team.
Oh yeah.
Like we have as soon as we got rid of old racist Daniel Snyder, we brought in David Tepper instead. Fucking Captain, I'm going to take people's hats off and make a big stink.
Throw drinks at people and stuff.
So like they're going to be terrible.
They're going to be
horrible. Absolutely trash.
So are the Saints. They're just garbage.
The Saints, I don't know why they've stuck with Dennis, whatever his name is.
Allen.
Yeah. I don't get it. You know, Sean Payton is back in the league, and you're still sticking with Dennis Allen. I don't get it. So I don't have any reason not to pick Baker. Of all the teams in this division, they make the most sense. I don't believe in the Falcons because why would I?
The only thing with the Falcons is they finally got a quarterback. And it's
now they have two.
Well, they have two, yeah. But they finally have a competent quarterback with some really good weapons. So I think they can put up a little bit of some noise.
Well, you know what that means.
What?
They have a really good quarterback and some weapons and some hope, which means that Kirk Cousins is going to break his clavicle in week 2.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. He's going to get Nick Foles. So many quarterbacks before him that are like, this was the piece. This was the piece we were missing.
Which, for Penix's sake, I hope that happens because Cousins has made more than enough money in his career that he can retire right now and his kids won't have to ever work. But Penix, the poor 24-year-old, is sitting there like, I really want to play football.
I don't know how Kirk Cousins I don't know what his agent does. I don't know what magic spells he does. Because every contract Kirk Cousins has ever had is a guaranteed contract. He sold his soul to a witch or something, I swear, because Kyle Shanahan and everybody that's ever worked under him loves him, and he has had only guaranteed contracts since he left Washington. He did like 3 straight franchise tags, and then has only ever had guaranteed cash the entire rest of his career.
Big guaranteed cash.
And not for nothing, I don't think Kirk Cousins is great.
No,
I think he's exceptionally mid.
He's a solid regular season quarterback.
Yeah.
He will get you 10 wins, but then the second you get a playoff or get sniffing of it, he'll fuck it up.
He's brand name Case Keenum.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't get this.
I was actually thinking he gives off a little bit of Rich Gannon vibes, even though Gannon did make it to a Super Bowl, but it was that one he only made it to. All the rest was like, he's a solid quarterback. Kind of Alex Smith. Drew Bledsoe, he's kind of in that.
Yeah, Drew Bledsoe's a good comparison.
Yeah, he's in that realm.
Yeah.
Penix could be the next Brady then.
I know, right? So the Falcons, I mean, if every team deserved to get a Brady, it's the Falcons. But I want the Falcons to do well. I don't love the Buccaneers as a team for a lot of reasons, mostly because of Tom Brady. But, I just don't think... Of the two of them, one of them has been more consistent in the last few years, and it's the Buccaneers.
I mean, they've, 4 straight years made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like... And I gotta say, I have always been a big Baker Mayfield fan. I love fucking Baker Mayfield. And they have the most underrated player in the history of the NFL, in my opinion, Mike Evans. Mm-hmm. If he gets another 1,000 yards this season, he will set the record for most consecutive 1,000 yards to start a career. And it's like, how is he not
He's
ever talked about as one of the best receivers in the league?
He's in that Andre Johnson, just always
good comparison.
Just always fucking good. never talks, never runs his mouth, always just gets work done.
Yeah. Gets a ton of touchdowns, gets over 1,000 yards, and no one fucking talks about him.
Yeah.
And I fucking love him. I absolutely love him.
Do you want to end with the North, and we'll talk about the NFC West?
Yeah, so let's do the West. So the Bucs were the only playoff team I have in that division.
They're going to send one.
So the West, I have 2 playoff teams. San Francisco and the Rams. San Francisco 14-3, Rams 10-7. Both make the playoff.
I think you could see 3 playoff teams out of the West.
What, Seattle is the other one?
Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are quietly very good.
See, the only thing I don't like about the Cardinals is quarterback. I don't have any faith in him.
Murray.
None. Because of just his attitude and he rubbed me the wrong way in the final, and was it last season where he was on the sideline telling his coach to relax?
I think that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And it's like, you're such a dick. Like, he's such an arrogant little fuck. And he hasn't really done shit. He had a couple good seasons to start his career. But then all the contract shit and fucking him playing too many video games, not wanting to study and all that shit. And Kyler Murray just doesn't. He just has this douchey fucking. And I don't have faith in him.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of have faith in Marvin Harrison Jr., but it's like. Kyler Murray, the problem also is he's a short quarterback.
Yeah.
Hasn't been a lot of luck of short quarterbacks. The closest one is Doug fucking Flutie.
I was about to say, don't
he had his glory stolen from him thanks to Ralph Wilson, that fucking bullshit movie he
Ralph
made.
Wilson and tablecloth Rob Johnson.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm still mad about that. You want to talk about 17 years in Azkaban? I'm still mad about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still mad about that. But I just look at them, I look at the weapons that they have, and they have a coach that really inspires their players. And I just think that they could make more noise than people are giving them credit for. So I kind of like the Cardinals in this. Obviously, the Niners are going to win the division.
Yes.
And as long as Matt Stafford stays healthy, which is a big if, I think the Rams could be really good too.
Yes.
But that's a really big if.
Yes.
So
not just Stafford. They need Cooper Kupp to stay healthy.
Yes.
Because Puka Nacua is young enough where I think he'll stay healthy, but he was at his best when they had the other guy on the other side.
Yeah.
And he was able to get a little more one-on-one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had more room to run.
Exactly.
And so they have some good weapons. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in the playoffs, so I think the Rams are going to be solid.
Yeah, no, I think I would put, I would put San Francisco, again, I could see as like a 15-2 team. Just because they haven't lost any steam.
Yeah,
they brought back everybody.
Trent Edwards, right? He's the one that the offensive lineman is. Last name's Edwards.
No. His name is Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, thank you.
So he's just coming back. They got Ayuk back. They finally have their quarterback situation ironed out. Christian McCaffrey's here. They still have all their weapons.
Yep. And this really is the final year that this whole team's going to be together.
Yeah.
Because they will have to pay Purdy next year, and then somebody's going to have to go.
And as somebody who just watched our team become the 13 seconds team that's the legacy now.
Yep.
That's what that team will be known for.
I just would like to make a passionate plea to Brock Purdy. You have said that you love Tom Brady and you learned from him. When your contract comes up next year, go for $30 million a year. That's still far more money than you'll ever see in your life doing anything else.
And it's way more than you're making now.
And you'll be able to keep every fucking player on that team.
You want to keep playing with Debo and Ayuk and McCaffrey and have Bosa on the other side?
Is Debo would be the one out because of his contract where it is now. And it's like, dude, even Trent Williams, because the whole thing they did really is they restructured it so now he has more guaranteed money.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm tired of these quarterbacks doing this bullshit. And it's like, dude, do you not fucking understand what you're doing? Look at Josh Allen once again.
Yeah.
You are tearing your fucking team apart. And you will have nothing. And you will do nothing for the remainder of your fucking career because you are taking your prime and you're taking all of your weapons away because you need more money.
The best news I could hear from Buffalo this year is that Josh is going to restructure his deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best news that I could hear.
I mean, you can't tell me that if somebody says, I want a 5-year, $150 million, fully guaranteed contract, $30 million a year, give me a $20 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
$170 fucking million is not enough to fucking, you know what I mean? It's like,
I know.
Dude, that is literally the definition of generational wealth.
Well, it may not be enough to buy an apartment in San Francisco anymore.
Yeah, no.
You know, things are expensive. Milk's $20,000 there.
That's fucking crazy.
No, I joke, but San Francisco apparently it's pretty
It's
rough.
insanely
It's
expensive.
very, very expensive.
It's giving New York a run for its money.
Yeah. Seattle, I don't see anything from. I don't see anything happening in Seattle. The Geno Smith experiment, I think, is going to go on one more year, and then they're going to be like, well, Pete's gone. We don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah. And I think as much as I don't like Bill Belichick, I think the Patriots are going to have the same thing the Seattle had, where it's like you had an iconic coach for so long, and now that's their first season, they're gone. There's going to be a massive dip.
Yeah.
Just because it is as impossible as the Patriots saw to replace a fucking generational talent at quarterback. Now you're going to have that at coach, and they're gone? Yeah, no.
Yeah. I do love that the send-off for Tom Brady was a pick six, and the send-off for Bill Belichick was 3 seasons of absolute ass. Just like all of the legacy for the last 20 years thrown into question.
And 3 of those seasons watching the guy you kicked out win a Super Bowl and go to the playoffs 2 years. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, good job.
What has been traditionally the worst team in the NFL. Fucking the Bucs.
Yes.
All right, so we got to go to the North.
The North, the big one. Okay. I want the big one.
So it's going to sound like a homer thing. I do have the Bears going 14-3 and winning the division.
Wow.
The main reason is you go look at their schedule. It is, and I believe it is the 3rd easiest schedule in the NFL. It is so fucking easy. And that team is set up, I think, that Caleb Williams can have his struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And they can still win games with that. Because their weapons on offense and their weapons on defense are so fucking strong that I have them winning the division. I don't have them going to the Super Bowl. I think that would have been crazy.
Mm.
But I have the Lions 13-4, so they're right there.
Yeah.
Playoff team. Packers 9-8. Because people don't remember, Packers sucked first half of last year. They just had a good second half of the year. And then the Vikings 3-14.
Yeah, the Vikings I think are going to be in the.
Sam Darnold's going to be.
It's not going to happen.
No, that's going to be like the Giants. It's like it's still Sam Darnold.
This might be another Arizona takes Josh Rosen and then takes Kyler Murray the next year.
Yep.
That we might see this whole thing with J.J. McCarthy be fully blown over, and the Giants end up getting him anyway.
Yeah.
I agree with you for the most part. I am a little less hyped on the Bears just because I don't trust Eberflus. I just don't trust him as a coach. I don't like what he brings to the dynamic.
I don't know enough about him yet.
Yeah.
There hasn't been enough. I mean, it's only been a couple seasons, and it's been such a fucking clusterfuck couple seasons.
See, that's my thing, is that I haven't seen anything that gives me confidence in the man.
Well, it's not him that gives me confidence. It's the man upstairs.
Yeah.
It's like, I have faith in the organization for the first time in a very long time. Because it has always been, the team was okay and it had promise, but the organization was going to do something to fuck everything up.
Yeah.
But now that's taken a little bit of a flop for me.
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, I kind of I have faith in the team, the players. I don't really know what to make of the coach yet, but I have a lot of faith in the upper management now when it's like, ugh.
See, I could see them being an 11-win team. I do think the Lions are a 14, 15-win team. I am less hot on the Packers than a lot of people are. I think that they've lost weapons. They've lost ground in the division, in my opinion. Not as much as the Vikings. But I would still put them at like 9-8, like you're saying. I just think the Vikings are going to be like a 2-win team. I think that they're going to be one of the Dolphins teams this year. I think the Lions have more experience on every front. And I think that that's going to be a benefit to them.
See, the thing with me with the Lions is when are they going to remember they're the Lions?
They didn't remember last year.
Well, they did in the playoffs.
They did at the very end of the playoffs.
But it's like, I look at that team, and I do. I have a lot of love for Jared Goff, and I'm happy he has a career resurgence. I love their coach. I think he's awesome. But it's like, I've just seen that story, and that's why like people say, "Oh, the Bears, oh, you're gonna have a great year." I'm like, when they're hoisting the Super Bowl trophy, I'll say, "Wow, I think we had a good year."
Yeah.
Not before that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it too much.
Not until I see the confetti falling.
Exactly.
That's when I'll be satisfied.
Because I think of the Lions, and I think of that infamous line from the Arizona Cardinals. Why can't I think of the coach's name? It's driving me nuts.
They are who we thought they were.
We thought they were.
And we let them off the hook.
And that's my only worry with the Lions.
Dennis Green.
Dennis Green, thank you. Who used to coach the Vikings, which is funny. But I want to see the Lions do well. I know it sounds stupid being a Bears fan. I don't want to see the Packers and the Vikings do well. I fucking hate both of them. The Lions, just because it's a poor area, it's a poor team. They have a lot of cast-offs. They have a cast-off coach, and they found a way to win. I think the thing that has helped them is they were in a division with, really, once Aaron Rodgers was out of the picture last year, the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings weren't good until the end of the year when the Packers kind of kicked it up. This year, the Bears are going to be much better. And the Packers still are going to have the same youth and experience from the playoffs from last year going into this season. So it's going to be a tougher division than it was last year.
It's a question of how the receivers do.
Exactly.
And how much do they miss Aaron Jones at running back. Yeah. And now A.J. Dillon is also injured.
And right now, I mean, really their main target is Amon-Ra
St. Brown for the Lions.
And it's like, that's going to be the main focus of every team.
Yeah.
And after him, are they going to have enough to be able to? And I mean, I have them 13-4. I have them one game below the Bears. Yeah. So I still have them good in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, I would say, if we're talking playoffs, Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Are you kidding me? Playoffs? Jim Morris Sr.
Yeah, a little callback to the Colts days.
Diddly poo. I would say, if we're looking at divisions, I'm going to put the Eagles, Niners, Lions, and Buccaneers in the playoffs.
So I'm the same except for the Bears and Lions switch.
Yeah.
But then I have the Lions, the Cowboys, and the Rams in the playoffs.
I'm going to put the Rams, the Cardinals, and I'll put the Bears in there.
Nice,
sure.
thanks, buddy.
I think that, let's throw the Bears in
nice.
there. I won't even make them the 7th seed.
I appreciate
I'll make the Cardinals the 7th seed.
I appreciate that, bud. And then I have San Francisco winning the conference and winning the Super Bowl.
See, I'm gonna vote with my heart and have it be the Lions finally overcome everything and then stop the Chiefs from three-peating in the Super Bowl. I think that would be one of the greatest moments in NFL history recent of just like...
See, I'm along the same lines as you, except for the storyline that didn't happen last year that should have happened is Mr. Irrelevant ends the Chiefs' run.
Yeah.
And that... Because once again, I really do believe, you hear Super Bowl or bust for a lot of teams. Out of every team in the NFL, San Francisco is Super Bowl or bust.
Oh, very much so.
1,000%. They need to win this fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If they don't, they will go down like the Jim Kelly Bills.
Yeah.
As a team that was talented enough that they should have won multiple, and they didn't win any.
They didn't win any.
And that's this fucking team.
Yeah. I did realize that is the one thing that will make me sick to my stomach, is if the Texans specifically, but really the Texans, Panthers, or Jaguars win a Super Bowl before we do. Because all of those teams weren't around.
I think you're fine with the other ones, but goddamn, man, the Texans
This is what I'm saying, man.
The Texans could win it this fucking year.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If a team that wasn't around until 2003, 10 years after the 4 Super Bowl run, wins the Super Bowl before we do, and they have our same colors, and are also a fucking undulate.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Lions, let's go.
There we go. So that was our Super Bowl picture. That was our full NFL experience.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed it. The games do start tomorrow. It is the
Ravens and Chiefs.
At the Chiefs, right?
At the Chiefs.
Yes. So Ravens at the Chiefs. See what happens. Last year, the Chiefs lost the first game. It's still in the Super Bowl, so we got to see what happens here.
Yep.
But I am looking forward to this season. I'm on fantasy football teams, which I swore off fantasy football, but I got talked into both of them, so I'm on fucking 2 teams. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what happens.
You got more hype than I do. This year is going to be all about managing expectations for me.
Yeah.
And just not letting myself get too depressed, but also not getting too excited at any one point in time.
Yes, I think that's safe.
So that's going to be tricky.
Yes.
Especially after the last few years of high expectations and then the previous 20 years of, Jesus fucking Christ, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So.
And that's what makes both of our teams fun.
Yeah.
Is they're very similar.
Very
to
much
where
so.
There's a few teams in this league that pull their fans to the point of pure ecstasy and then just rips it out from below.
Yeah.
And both our teams are spectacular at that.
I'm going to say this real quick. Because apparently the Bills have been voted one of the most nationally popular teams.
Yes.
They're just very hot right now. People like the Bills because of Josh Allen and other things. We're going to see the wheat and the chaff get divided here pretty quick.
Oh, the bandwagon's going to be...
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
The wheels are going to fall off all 4 of the bandwagon wagons. And the only thing we're going to be circling is 9 and 8.
See, my only hope, once again, is that regardless of what their end-up record is, that Josh Allen doesn't do serious harm to himself.
That would be the big thing.
Because even with weapons... in the past, he still pushed himself to almost killing himself.
Yeah.
And now that he's more of a focus...
he's the only thing we have.
He's it.
It's him and
2
James
tight
Cook.
ends. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Him, James Cook,
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid, on occasion Dawson Knox,
Yeah.
maybe Shakir, if Keon Coleman ends up being an asset.
The only way he will succeed this year is if he listens to Brady. When Brady had that radio thing where he said, go for the check down instead of the home run.
Well, we've been saying for
Yes.
4 years, run the ball, play the short game,
Yes.
take what the defense gives you, then go for the big play when it opens up. Don't try and make any play into the big play.
Yep. Because if you think about the Super Bowl winning year for the Bucks, the first half of the season was Josh Allen's. The second half of the season was Tom Brady's.
Yeah.
Because he did check down, bomb.
Yeah.
Check down, bomb. And they won a fucking Super Bowl. It's like, dude, listen to the fucking man.
He knows a little bit about how to do this.
A little bit.
Little bit.
And you know what? He had pretty great fucking tight ends. And he knew how to get a nice little crossing route.
The 2 tight end set can work.
Yeah.
To great success.
Yeah.
Especially with a player like Josh Allen, who's a threat in the backfield. The offense was so bipolar last year. I don't know. I go back to that Denver game. That Denver game that we should have won 9 different times.
Yep.
And we just kept on shooting off toes instead. And then we went wide right just to fucking do the whole goddamn thing.
Yep.
I can't with this shit, man. Yeah. So... we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll fucking see.
All right, folks. Well, that was episode 151 of NerdPod Generations. We really hope you enjoyed it. It was a little different. We like talk NFL every now and then. We're going to do it multiple points throughout the season.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have check-ins pretty regularly.
Yeah, usually we do an end of the season, like pre-Super Bowl type of...
we'll do, I'm sure we'll talk mid-season, how things are going. We'll talk at the end of the season, and I'm more than confident that at some point I'm going to have a watch-play-read that involves the Bills doing something either cool or terrible.
Especially those shows that we record right after the Bills game ends.
Shock.
All right, folks. So NerdPod Generations, episode 151. Please go back, listen to our back catalog. Please go to nerdpodgen.com. Make sure to like and subscribe to all of our podcasts and on youtube.com for the videos that we put up. And Al, who does our music and artwork?
Our art is by Kortney Howell.
Awesome.
Our music is by my sauce brother, Brendan Williams, and James Connolly.
Awesome.
Our show is by me and you.
Yes.
I am Alfred Jutsam.
And I'm a very tired Steve Taylor.
I am also done.
Yes.
So we'll see you next week, friends and enemies.